Hello everyone, and a warm welcome to you from Pilsen in the Czech Republic on the World Curling Federation Olympic Qualification event 2017. We're in an area known as Western Bohemia. The city of Pilsen itself was founded on 4 rivers and is the 4th largest in the Czech Republic. 700 years of history in this part of the world. The Košutka Winter Arena is normally home to ice hockey, but it's curling to the forefront this week for this Olympic qualification event. We're into the 6th session now of the women's draw, and looking forward to this one. Our featured game is Denmark against China. 2 of the teams at the top are looking in very good shape indeed. I'm Alison Walker and I'll be commentating on this. Here are the lineups then for you. Denmark, Mathilda Hils at the lead, Julie Høge at second. Third player, Denise Dupont. And the skip, Madeleine Dupont. For China, we have Ma Jingyi at lead, Liu Jinli at second, Zhao Yon, third player, and the skip, Wang Bingyu. Those are the 2 lineups. There's shake hands, keen to get this one underway. So we'll have live commentary on this one for you, and there's the standings. It's so close still. 4 teams on 3 wins. Czech Republic 3 and 2, though this will be their last game in the arena tonight. Latvia 2 and 3, Germany 1 and 4, and Finland 0-4. So much to play for still for the bulk of the teams there. And these are the other games going on inside the arena. Denmark and China, our featured game. We have Italy against the Czech Republic, and Finland play Germany. It's been a busy, intense week for all these players. And these 2 teams at the top, something's got to give. There's the Stone Colours. Alongside me, Sander Rovag, world mixed champion in 2015 from Norway. He'll be helping guide you through this, Sander. And yeah, something's got to give here in this one.
It'll be an interesting one too. The teams are shaping up to be favourites for the Olympics.
So getting us underway, Mathilda Halse, just 18, was actually born in Greenland. And first year on this team. What a week she's having. Ma Jingyi, 22, newest addition to the Chinese team that seems to have settled in really well. Been curling for 6 years. Was born in Shanghai but plays out of Harbin Curling Club in China.
OK。什么打电打甩都可以啊，9秒正常击打。9秒正常击打。OK， 要。哇哇哇！嗨，要。Nice shot. Okay.
another youngster in the Danish team. Huga, 18 as well. Curling 10 years. In the first year on this team. Liu Jinli. Lots of experience there. She's 28 now. 9 years playing together. Like her teammates from Harbin.
That's definitely the main difference between the teams here. Both have quite experienced back ends, but Denmark has a fairly young front end.
Rules of play for you. In this round robin, it's 6 ends that you play, and there's the thinking time as well. Lots of technology in the sport now. Green light says that that's an OK stone sander before the hog line that was released.
Yeah, I can't remember seeing any red lights so far this week.
I have actually seen one.
Yeah? It's always a couple.
It's almost instinctive for the players. They know exactly when to release.
Yeah, it's that, and also the sweeping. Being able to slide along, sweeping in front of the stones up and down and barely ever touching it.
And also that instinctive ability to avoid stones with your feet as well. This one's coming around nicely, or is it going a bit further than they would have wanted? One of the more experienced players in the team, Denise Dupont, 33 years old now. Third player, has played in an Olympic Games, twice in fact, 2006 and 2010. Umpteen Women's World Championships as well. Shall we on? 35. 19 years curling and 11 years with this team. And she's also twice played in the Olympic Games in 2010 and 2014. 2010, of course, China won bronze in Vancouver. So known as Jenny. So you might hear the skip say Jenny.
13秒85力量。
Second stone for Denise Dupont. She's a teacher and she's not curling. From Copenhagen.
Okay. Rigtig god fart.10秒。点用再小一点。点再稍微小一点。对，这样稳妥一点。嗯。加油。
Trying to hit the nose there. Sit 2. Ends up actually rolling so far. The double's not really that easy in the end.
Jeg tror faktisk stadig den, der ligger bedst, så selv hvis den sidder lige der i. Ja, jamen, jeg tænkte, den er lidt nem for hende at få ud. Hvis den skal ikke være med en hakfart. Vi vil ikke bare have det rene indlæg, vel? Jeg tænkte bare, hvis vi rammer den der med en hakfart. Hvis vi kommer til at ramme den. Hun er helt klart at ramme den der. Ja, det er rigtigt. Ja. En hakfart, så skal hun spille. Hvad med?
Just going to play hack weight here. Make the head on the open yellow. Try and roll on top of the other.
Synes I banen er hurtig? Ja. Så 0-0. Okay.
So Danish skip Madeleine Dupont, the younger sister, and curling for nearly 20 years. Works at an advertising agency when she's not curling. Olympic Games in 2010, so huge amount of experience.
This one just under curling, so it's rolling a bit too far. Leaving China setting shot.
争取6曲，要不然的话，他往那粘的话，然后就是让他没有这个信号，好像有一点点，是吗？40线的。
Bang Bingyu just thinking if she could come around, just maybe an inch buried around that red stone, top 12. There won't really be any double for Denmark.
See all the games going on inside the arena. Family and friends and fans watching the action to your left there. Wang Bingyu, she's 33 now, seems to have been around a long time, Bingyu. Also known as Betty. She's got an array of medals in her back pocket over the years, including world champion in 2009. And a couple of Olympic Games, but she'd love to get to a third Games.
Well, it comes around the stone nicely. Actually ends up fully burying it. But just stops in front of the T-line. If that slips another foot deeper, Denmark can just follow it and freeze on top. But looks like the call for Denmark is just to hit the open back one.
Look at this one come round. Very nicely done.
Speaks to the ice quality here this week as well. You're able to fully bury it around a rock that's in the top 12. So there's some great finish in the ice. Dupont just going to play the safer call here and hit the back one. So that's just going to leave an open draw for 2. Pretty much the same shot. I'd probably like to take just a bit more ice instead of flirting with that red stone top 12. Came pretty close to it on the first one.
The last stone of this first end, Bingyu Wang. This one easing into position, looking good. is it a little bit speedy? That's just all right. Good start for China in this game against Denmark. Smiles there. China team 2-0 after 1. You're watching coverage from the WCF Olympic Qualification event 2017. We're live in the Koszutska Arena in Pilsen in the Czech Republic. Good to have you with us. Hope you've been enjoying the action. Alison Walker and Sandra Ovak bringing you live commentary on this game. This is our featured game, but we will update you on what's happening elsewhere too. It really is getting very serious out there now. 2 Olympic places up for grabs for the top 2 teams eventually. Those who progress from the round robin, top 3. We said we'd update you. Well, let's just do that. Finland, Germany, first of all. First end. Germany skip Daniela Jentsch. The last stone here. Difficult week at times, Daniela. And had a heartbreaking defeat last night. This one looks like it might catch the guard though. Oh, and it does. And it does, and that's a steal of 1 for Finland. 1-0. Frustrating week for the Germany skip. Czech Republic and Italy, first end there as well. Here's Anna Kubeshkova with the last stone. Catches the guard as well. So another steal there, this time for Italy. They lead 1-0 too. So maybe the nerves are just getting to these teams now. Adrenaline pumping. Back to our featured game then. How's this end shaping up, Sander?
Well, Leo Jin-Lee just slipping off there, so leaving a double for Denmark. If they make this, they can sit 2 buried behind the centre guard. This one just over curling here. Actually just going to catch the nose, sit in the open. That's a bit of a missed opportunity.
Have this Danish team surprised you this week?
Yeah, maybe a little bit. They played the European Championships only a couple of weeks ago. He went 3-6, although in a much tougher field. But you know, when you have such a young front end, I think there's a lot of development still, and they're going very fast now, playing the 2 very experienced DuPont sisters and playing at these bigger championships. I think they're going to take quite a few steps in the right direction, and they're just going to grow into this team. It's quite new, quite new foursome.
And really a good way of doing it, having the 2 more experienced and the 2 youngsters and bringing them along, rather than 4 inexperienced youngsters just throwing them in.
That's quite a normal recipe for 2 experienced players to pick up a promising young front end. It's always good with some youthful fire in the team.
I'm sure you count yourself in that category, Sander.
Well, slowly becoming the prior, but yes.
Can we don't? Coach for Team China. He's been with them a while as well. Lives in Edmonton, the coach from China. And 16 years with the team. Oh, working hard with sweeping there.
Lige på garden her! Få de gule væk, eventuelt den der med! Bare husk at gå release. Ja. Syv! Ja! 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 Wow! 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 Got Denise!
Gets everything moving there, apart from that one in the middle.
Well, that's a great shot there, actually.
She's pleased with that. Watch this again.
Triple and sticks the red in behind cover. I'm surprised DuPont didn't sweep the back yellow, but it does spin out of play.
Tiny stones removed.
Shoyan follows up with a nice freeze. So 2 good back-to-back shots here.
That is a very good freeze there.
So the main part of the freeze is it's just kind of closing down the scoring area for Denmark. You know, Danish have the hammer. They would very much like to score 2 points back here, but not a lot of real estate to work with, and there's quite a few stones left. So it's a bit of a setup shot here.
Watching, waiting for instruction. Yes, sweep. Says the vice skip. Just looking to come up, join these ones. And also nicely done.
Yeah, 2 pistols from Denise Dupont.
轻传一下，确保这个角度的话就给它打散了，是不是？就得把它给稍微传出来一下。要不然的话，它来。对。那我再往那。
They look as if they're enjoying themselves, Sander.
Well, I'm sure for a couple of young players to be playing here, they're just having lots of fun, and I think maybe that, you know, just that.
Maybe it relaxes them a little bit, helps them play better.
Yeah, it's probably nice for the DuPont sisters too to have a couple of young girls with them, to liven things up, have a little more fun, perhaps.
这是给我们那个奖吗？对。
我tænkte bare, hun var på sådan.
这是给你专捡的那2个球的那个。这1号球会不会跟现在？哦，稍往外一点点。
You wonder if they allow themselves to think, aged 18, I could possibly be going to the Olympic Games. It must enter their thoughts, especially the 18-year-olds.
Well, I'm sure it will, even more so when we get to the latter stages of the week. And if they make it to the playoff stages, and then you might see some of the pressure they'll be under. But for now, it seems like they're enjoying themselves.
Sweeping it past that front guard. And joining the party there. An array of stones.
Some real nice shooting in this end. The Olympics worthy.
Yeah, always talking, always communicating. Yeah, waiting for the instruction. And now it comes round.
Okay. Så ryger den der. Så sidder den der selvfølgelig tilbage derinde. Jeg synes ikke, vi skal skubbe vores eget alt for langt ud. Man kan så sige, at så sidder den tilbage derinde, ja, men så ligger altså... Ej, på den anden side, vi rammer den herovre. Altså, du tænker, den skal være hård, ikke også?
Jo. Den der sidder lige, den der...
Altså, du vil helst have den rent her?
Ja.
Så ruller shooteren af. Så kører de der 2 ud.
Det ligner bare...
Så kører denne her. Den her
ruller... Den der lige på, måske. Så bliver shooteren. Den der bliver...
Hvad hvis vi bare kommer til at fjerne den? Gør det så noget, hvis vi bare fjerner det rent? Så gør vi det. Så kan jeg godt lide at sætte denne her derned mod. Sæt den her mod.
Ja, præcis.
Bare giv mig is lige på. Nå.
Det er fint.
Ja.
We're waiting for that shot. We'll hop over and look at that Italy Czech Republic game again. 1-0 to Italy after that stint in the first. So second end.
It looks like this might be a draw for 2 if that yellow stone is in fact a shot stone. That's a better look at it. Should be for 2. The looks of it.
Would it have been?
Is it going to make it? Is it going to make it? Oof, I had to work for that one, my goodness. He certainly won. 2 yellows, they're saying. Relief for Czech Republic. They now lead 2-1 after 2. Big cheer from the largely Czech support here. last one down. In the Denmark game, and on your right we have Finland, Germany. Daniela Jentsch. Hoping to bounce back here. And nicely done there too. So Germany back in it after 2-1 up.
So Wang Bingyu tried to take away this draw for 2, but just over curls. So draw to the button for the deuce, very much available for Madeleine Dupont. Still quite tough though.
Super staying away for the moment. And that's why they were staying away from it, goodness me.
One red.
Just the one for Madeleine Dupont and her Danish team. A chance missed there. Difficult draw
Det sidste jeg hører 8, så det er ikke
this stage in the game.
Der bliver sagt 9-10 til sin skærm, men så jeg kan høre det.
But it is a 1.
Hvis det her, hvis der kan gøres noget som helst andet, skal jeg vide, hvor langt den er. Okay, ja. Tak.
And it's Denmark 1, China 2 now after 2.
站位的话选进，然后完了还是先扣分。
Never before in the history of the World Men's Curling Championship has the stage been so spectacular and the backdrop so electric. A never-before opportunity to watch the best of the best on ice and soak up everything else you love about Las Vegas, including the first-ever 9-day pool party. Reserve your place in history now at LasVegasCurling.rocks. Las Vegas 2018. Your curling oasis awaits.
Træk den. Lige det sidste. Godt fart. Okay. Godt fart.
提前前就行。
我跟他说了，你选他那个了。
加油，5秒，5秒。OK。进营了。
嗯，进营。
还可以。
6，线了 OK。5，下线操。OK， 下线操。
要他下线。不去。
So on to the third end now.
OK。
Our feature game between
觉得可能还是出手了。
China and Denmark.
还可以。
没有吧？
This is the newest member of the team.
China will be the happier of the two sides so far. They've scored 2 with the hammer, forced Denmark to 1. Now they have the hammer back, and will obviously be looking to maybe score another 2 here and take full control.
Så er det helt op. 7. Åh. Denise. Åh. Godt spillet.
So there's the latest for you. 1-2 in our featured game. Italy 1, Czech Republic 2, Finland 1, Germany 3. And the standings, 3 teams at the top. 1, 3 and 1, Czech Republic 3 and 2, Latvia 2, 3. So those are the ones still in the mix.
Just coming up a bit wide on the out turn throws there, Ma Jingyi. Nowhere near curling around the guard than the first one. This one, we're lucky enough to come off that first rock and redirect onto the red. Well skipped by Wang Bingyu. Just tap the red stone to the back four. Just waiting for line for too long there. Sweepers wanted to go, but skipper is calling them off.
Do you always listen to the skip?
Well, all you can do really is call what the weight is. Let the skipper know what the weight is, and then it's up to the skip to choose if you should sweep for it to travel farther or not. So yeah, you listen to the skip, but at the same time you need to be feeding your skip information, so you know the skip is making the right call.
But what if you feel and you know that to sweep is the right thing and you're told not to?
Well,
what do you do?
Sometimes you have to make a judgment call on that, and there's definitely a few sweepers that will take a matter into their own hands at times. And sometimes they're happy you do, and sometimes you know.
And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
You'll get told off for it.
Yep, every team's different. But generally speaking, it's the skip and vice skip communicating with the sweepers.
Disagreement can also happen between the two sweepers as well. If one sweeper thinking it's heavy, the other one thinking it's light, then that becomes a problem. And if the shot has a couple of options, the skip then has to try and figure out what sweeper to listen to, and so sometimes it's a bit chaotic. But
and also these are split-second decisions as well.
Oh yes.
Oh, away goes the guard.
That's such a big part of the game, though, which I think a lot of newcomers to the sport, new fans of the sport, maybe won't completely realize. It's just all the communication that's going on after the rock is released. That's really the key between a gold medal team and a team that doesn't make it to the Olympics.
I'm just waiting, watching, waiting. And there we go.
So what you'll hear is the sweepers will yell out. For the most part, most teams will use the number system, where from the hog line to the back line, they'll split that into 10 zones. So 1, 2, and 3 being in the guard area, and 4 through 10s in the house. So that's just a very efficient way of calling out.
Breaking it down.
Yeah, just calling out the way for the skipper. So if you get to learn how to count to 1 to 10 in all languages, you'll be able to understand what they're communicating.
But there are a lot of very generic curling terms that all teams use. You hear the same words interspersed with their own language.
Yeah, certain words are just better in English than in your own language. Technical terms like hack. The thing Denise DuPont's kicking out from now. It's a pretty common used term all across the board.
And hog line is the another one. Just releasing before it.
So still a bit of cat and mouse here. Denmark throwing up the guard to protect that stone they have back at the forefoot, and China just trying to open things up and get to it. Now, Wang Bingyu thinking maybe we can slash the two reds here. Catch that stone next to her broom thinly, run it to the left, clip the other red, Only danger here is if ever catch it too thick, you might run it onto your own yellow.
Carry on. Let's see if she can pull this one off.
Actually catches it a bit too thin, but is it maybe enough to spill it all the way out?
Oh, some voracious sweeping there, but still hanging on the outside edge there.
Still a pretty good shot. Leaves the yellow lying in second position.
Ja, stopper den her, den er så okay.
Ja, det ved jeg ikke, fordi men kan jo stadig ikke få mere end 2. Altså på ellers siden?
Jo, der.
Ja. Tænker jeg.
Jeg vil heller ikke give hende 2.
Nej, lige top 8. Korter er okay.
Now Denmark wanting to come into the house here, knowing that if they throw a straight guard and don't quite make it, China may be able to come after the red stone. You also have the option of running in the yellow guard. So they're actually going to try and corner freeze the yellow here. Angle the yellow stone away from the shot stone, and at the same time making the yellow stone fairly unplayable for China.
God retning. God retning.
10. 9. Wow. 10. Linjen er god. 9. Wow. 8. Wow. Rigtig god retning. 7. Kom farten.
Oh my goodness, just squeezing past that yellow one.
And that's a pretty perfect shot, actually. Unswept and perfectly on the corner of the yellow. So you can see it's hard to get to that shot zone in the back.
Still enjoying themselves, and she's played well, the skip, so far.
Oh, there we go.
They've given China a little bit of a headache here, haven't they?
Well, switching up the call now, and this makes a lot more sense. I think the first call is to maybe try and split the yellow somehow and get a few wins into the forfeit, but I think if she makes the hit and roll off the top red here, just catching half of it, we'll leave that yellow stone in the 8-foot, and if you can keep the shooter around to lie for second and third shot, Denmark might not be so willing to play that same corner freeze or a guard, seeing how there's 2 yellow counters in the house and might run scared.
Watching intently the line.
Yeah, very good shot.
Go, 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 go.
Is that red one heading out?
A little bit unlucky in terms of where she's left the yellows, but so there's a double on for Denmark, but I could also jam on that stone on the left-hand side of the house.
Vi har rullet her. Den skal rulle herover, for det her er selvfølgelig ikke nok. Den der ligger rimelig meget til det. Men er selvfølgelig sværere. Ja.
Jeg kan godt.
Ja, dobbelt. Jeg har godt lige rullet på den på midten.
Hun kan godt lige rulle.
Calling the easier shot here. Just playing the hit and roll off that yellow stone in the red forfeit. Just hit that on the left-hand side as we just saw it. And
Rullet er lidt
Roll towards that guard. Roll towards the guard. There should be a double, and that will force China to take their single.
Men det er et nemmere skud jo. Hvad siger du, Julia?
Altså, jeg synes bare, vi skal skyde på en af dem, så jeg synes, det er mere op til, hvad du føler for at spille på. Kan vi bedre lige den?
Ja, det tror jeg.
I like this call.
What's she worried about?
Ja.
It's just I think she's contemplating maybe playing the double.
Det var dem, jeg var i første ende, der spillede bare 11.
Or maybe just actually which way she wants to play this, on the in-turn or the out-turn. This would be the out-turn, so for a right-handed player like Madeleine Dupont, that would be the anti-clockwise rotation. Oof, almost over curling, but gets away with it. Does leave a double for two though. She would have rolled 2 feet to the left, the double wouldn't be there. Still no gimme though. You over curl by an inch, you give up the steal. You under curl by an inch, you just jam it and give up steal that way too. So precise shot coming up.
So last stone of this third end. Can Wang Bingyu get this double and secure a couple of points for China? How's the angle? Not quite. Oh. What was wrong with that one?
I just all tight off the bat really, and didn't give it a chance. Over curled, so went for Denmark.
It was worth the effort though, was it? I guess. But it has levelled things up. So that one for Denmark after 3-2-2.
Jeg har plads.
7. Linjen skal til at tage.
Linjen er god. 4. Rigtig god retning. Rigtig god retning. Super godt faret. Godt spillet. Godt faret. Godt, Mathilde.
Som du sagde, den er der lige.
Godt se.
Godt spillet.
Godt se. Godt spillet.
2学，现在 OK 啊，只限力量啊。2 3 3 3 ，OK， 2 3 OK， 5。
You're watching coverage of Denmark against China from the WCF Olympic Qualification event 2017. We're in Pilsen in the Czech Republic. And the score is 2-2 after 3 ends. You're listening to commentary from me, Alison Walker, and also Sander Rovak. Good to have you with us, watching the action here. And the goal for these teams is a place at the Pyeongchang Olympic Games in Korea next February. Not long to go actually, Sander, and what do these teams do when they do qualify between now and February? It's not very long to kind of get your head together and know that you're going to the Olympic Games.
I guess you try and take as much time off work as you can, because most players in the field do have jobs. They're not professionals. And you try and have as many team practices as you can. Not all teams live in the same place even, so taking weekends off to get together, but I think it's probably good to be able to spend some time with your families as well and not overdo it. Obviously just try and plan for the Olympics as best as you can. For many of the players here, they haven't even been to the Olympics before, they don't really know what to expect, so maybe ask for help from other players that have been there. It's just try and prepare themselves. It's quite a different thing to play the Olympic Games and, for instance, even just a World Championship.
Yeah, it's mixing with other sports as well, and you're seeing other teammates from other sports in your own country. Everyone says what a phenomenal opportunity and experience it is to do just that.
Luckily there are championships like the Youth Olympics, the Winter Universiade, but also the World Junior Championships and so forth, that does really prepare young players to take that step to the Olympics, so at least know a little bit what they might expect. But of course for the young front head of Denmark, they'll have two very experienced teammates. It's been there twice, so that's good for them.
And the same with China. I think there's only one player that hasn't been taking part. Eugene Lee has been. She was in Vancouver. And a couple of reds disappear.
Yeah, nice one by Eugene Lee. So able to open up the center, move the play over to the corner. That's all you want to do when you have the last zone, really. Bring the play to the wings. If anything goes wrong, you'll always have that center open to draw for the single point. Looking to run that guard onto that yellow nibbler on the wing there, just a little bit wide on the throw, and makes the double off her own. China with a good situation here. Already sitting one buried behind the corner, a chance to come around once more. The three could be in play here.
Supers to stay off it, and that's why.
Der er rigelig plads til at lægge en. Spørgsmålet er, om du hellere vil have den. Nej. Du væk. Ja. 14,5.
they're following the same line as China.
Okay.
And China, the opposing team, are allowed to sweep after the zone passes that red line.
Comes up a little heavy here, but at least we'll sit for second shot. So China's going to have to come out after it.
Jayon, 82%. Very steady player in this Chinese team.
It's a bit of a mistake there. Really wanted to roll towards the centre line a little bit, leaving 2 yellows in the back there. Creates a bit of a nest, a bit of a wall for Denmark. So if Denise Dupont can play another draw here, just pull the strings a wee bit and sit in front, it'll be very hard for China to remove it. Clearly a bit lighter this time. Both sweepers working it from coast to coast here. Starting to swing big as well. It's an important shot here.
Oh, squeezes past that yellow that was nibbling.
That's pretty good sweep.
Det er sgu ikke mig, der sætter den både skævt og langsomt. Det er sgu ikke mig, der sætter den skævt og langsomt.
Perhaps a tad short and actually curled a bit too much even. Made it too good. Because there is a chance for China to come and try and bounce this red stone out sideways and sit for 4. Well, curls a little bit, but will be lying too.
Yeah, good sweep there as well.
Jo, helt klart, så skal hun skyde den. Ja, så vi tager den herindefra? Ja, 10. Ja.
Pass that one past the 2 and some rolls into the middle. Yep, she's happy with that. Yes, she says. Madeline Dupont says 72% for the tournament overall. Stats for you for this, specific for this game a little later. She actually performed well here. Right, we'll just catch up with that Finland-Germany game for you. Finland 1, Germany 3, 4th end. Nakausta with the last stone here.
Suunnan puolesti jo. Jääks hiljaiseksi, jääks hiljaiseksi, jääks hiljaiseksi, voit jättää!
This one's gotten away from her and Might
Siis
need a second
linja
look
ei ollut
here.
enää semmoinen, että kannattaa tuoda.
Looks like one red.
Mikä sen aika oli? Okei. Yritin pelaa sen niinku vähän semmoisen reippaana, mutta
I think they said one red.
tuntui aika samanlaiselta
2-2.
ponnistus kuin edellisessä.
Looked like it caught something.
Okei, onkohan toi linja sitten vaan?
So here's Madeleine Dupont with her second. Trying the double, and she makes it. Big smiles all round in the Danish team. Well, the danger was there, and 1-2. And it's now Denmark, line 2. And that forces China to claim just 1 point here. And potentially it looked like a 3 at one point for China.
Really important to have a skip that can pull off those kind of shots as well. You know, the skips are so used to playing the draws and the touch shots, but to throw the up-weight double once in a while really helps you out.
Wangbu 74%. This is her last stone, just having to make sure this settles in the right place to secure that single point. Which it does, but just the one for China, so the game is still very tight indeed. Just keep being restricted in each end. It is Denmark 2, China 3 after 4.
Never before in the history of the World Men's Curling Championship has the stage been so spectacular and the backdrop so electric. A never-before opportunity to watch the best of the best on ice and soak up everything else you love about Las Vegas, including the first-ever 9-day pool party. Reserve your place in history now at LasVegasCurling.rocks. Las Vegas 2018, your curling oasis awaits.
OK， 好球，个水平。
Six. Vi har pladsen! Vi har plads! 6! Godt byt! Yes! Lige det sidste! Yes, lige det sidste! Den etter sætter sig op. Ja. Vi skal bare have lidt mere fart på den. Godt spillet. Det er bare den etter der.
This Chinese team have done much to encourage the sport in their country. Their success on the international stage over the years. More than 1,000 curlers now, and around 700 juniors as well. So they've got some strength and depth in China as well.
The rock's not working. The rock is not working.
So just letting the umpire know there.
Yeah, sometimes the battery, the eye on the hog technology runs out, and you might just have to swap it out.
It's a fairly straightforward operation.
Yeah, they have two choices. Either the umpire will go up to the hog line and watch the throw, and they can fix it in between the ends, or they can call the ice maker to fix it right now. Okay, just a loose handle actually, so just trying to tighten it up for her.
Yep, that sounds good now.
It's always good to bring in a strong umpire.
Of course, before all this technology, it used to be the human eye, didn't it? At the hog line. Just double checking if the handle's all right. Looks good. This is the kind of thing that might throw off a young player. You know, just kills the flow of the game a little bit. So then to be able to refocus and throw it can sometimes be a little difficult, and you'll see this one coming up a little heavy. It's easy to get a little stressed, feeling like you're spending a lot of time. You feel for her actually there, don't you?
Yeah, it's just an experience thing.
Okay. 14秒566。45，够了，点线有点靠外。5档，下线要擦下线擦，线路不好3曲吧。3曲停不下。好点了吗线路？挺好。下线擦一擦。我不擦了。下线擦一擦。站这也可以啊。可以。让你稍微大一点。刚刚那个是自己。是的。5区，嗨，全力，下线层，下线，全力踩呀，嗨，踩呀，再往下点线，娟姐再来一点，踩呀，嗨。
Oh, working so hard to get that one in and round.
15秒。
这2个点都大了吗姐？
对，都划来都有点大。
离坡了，离了1。11。让你稍收点，因为我的点，一般人跟不上。
Catching their breath after that sweep. She's not happy with this one either. So the two youngsters in the team. What happened to them?
Sometimes she'll just pop out her out turns a little too much. Kind of an abrupt motion.
15秒。加油。
when he set it out, it's just not going to come back.
Det ved jeg ikke.
Jeg tror, ja.
Pil? Ja.
So, trying to run off some of the guards here. This yellow onto one of the reds, and then hopefully even onto the yellows in the house. And it's not quite the call, but does at least open up things a little bit. Not too bad of a result there. Leaves one guard, but it's pretty long, so definitely possible to come around that.
Okay, let's check on Italy, Czech Republic, 2-1. Ooh, lots going on there ahead of Diana Gaspari of Italy.
I think she's trying to promote the Yellowstone top 12 onto red, onto yellow. Just looking really wide, nowhere close.
Oh, look where that's going. Away it goes, and it's as is in the middle. And the Czech Republic crowd cheering there. They're happy with that outcome.
Yeah, it was a shot for two there for Gaspari, but in the end, steal of one for the Czechs.
Back in our feature game, Denmark and China. Denise Dupont.
Denise, vi skal jo herover i. Jeg ved godt, du bliver ved med at sige wow, men det skal jo derover.
Not the best outcome for Denmark. Hits and rolls. Very slight.
Er det stadig 20? Du vil helst spille på det fryset, ikke? Eller hvad? 15? Ja, det tror jeg. Jeg kan bedst lide, at... Jeg tænker bare, hvis vi laver det rene indlæg... Så har hun den der, eller hvad? Ja, den er måske svær for der udenom. Ja. Man kan sige, hvis vi spiller på det rene indlæg, så er tolerancen lang, hvor den kan finde på at hænge herude. Ja. Og så har vi noget at prikke af på der. Ja. Det rene indlæg? Ja. Der? Ja.
So no point really in starting to remove these yellow stones. Denmark only has 2 shots left, so the only way to get 2 points up the board here is to be a little more offensive. Play a draw here. We were talking about either freezing the shot stone or just coming straight around the guards. I think the call in the end is to come straight around the guards. Try and sit right in between the 2 yellows in the forefoot. Make it hard for China to remove it.
So another precision shot required by Madeleine Dupont. We've seen her make both of these types of shots already in this game.
Not quite getting the line here, so I think the freeze is option B. Not the weight even there, so
it's kind of in between, isn't it, of everything. No, short stone.
they dragged out another foot. It's actually pretty good, but can't really see a shot for 2 here now for Denmark, even before China's final throw.
对，他现在是有传的球。
站一个，然后那面
他打双飞的话，他现在是没有。
我觉得应该
再往这进一个。
我觉得进一个能稍微好一点，不用。
嗯。
对，我觉得别保。
反正现在是2个进，这样就来一个。
进一个也行。
Kind of 2 questions you ask yourself if you're China is 1, how can we make this worse? And 2, how can we make it better? Make sure we don't do anything too stupid here, but at the same time I want to make it even harder for Denmark to score. It's a good chance for steal. Looks like the call is to come top 4.
Right call?
Yeah, I think so.
They're coming up. And pretty settled in their plan.
Could even just throw a guard on this, actually. That'd be very hard to score. To score 1, Denmark might be faced with a slash double then instead. Denmark will always have the chance to play a little tap up on that red stone they just threw. Definitely don't want to hang out here and tap that red stone up. The line's looking pretty good. Can even chisel off it.
Oh my goodness, what a good sweep there. Getting that one in.
It's pretty good. Does put some pressure on Denmark, but again leaves a pretty makeable shot. That tap on the red. And if she throws a guard, I'd say she'd have a tougher shot for the single, but at least she's facing a couple more yellows now, or 1 more.
So last stone of the 5th.
This is tough. Either you throw it with soft weight, just catch it thin, or you play it a little more solid on the nose here and onto that back yellow. It's really important to communicate this right.
Oh, just not quite enough.
Looks like 2 yellow.
Oh, such a good effort from Madeleine Dupont, but again, centimetres, and it's 2. It is 2. Seal of 2 for China. Again, tiny, tiny margins. And that stone from Bingyu Wang, making it difficult for Madeleine Dupont. And they head into the break. 2-5 down after 5. Third end of our feature game, and Wang Yu was targeting a double to claim 2 points in this end. She misses it, and it's a steal of 1 for Denmark to level things up at 2-2. And in the fourth end, a double from Denmark's Dupont restricted China to this draw for 1. Wang Bingyu with the last stone here. Super's guiding it gently in, and it's 3-2 now after 4. And China in good shape. And then into the fifth end. It was to be a tricky final stone for Madeleine Dupont after good placement from Bingyu Wang and China. Dupont looking to tap this one in, but not enough, and it's a steal of 2 for China and a 5-2 lead after 5. So there's the latest for you. Elsewhere, it's Italy 1, Czech Republic 3, and Finland 2, Germany 4.
Her er så med igen, ikke? Det er rigtig vigtigt her at ikke sætte det hele på et bræt. Ja. Altså for eksempel den fjerde ende her, ikke? Hvor jeg har en guard liggende foran den der, de går rundt om den der. Det er her, jeg har muligheden for at bæle. Ikke senere. Ja. Også dernede, hvor de har centergarden. Ja. Tidligt i enden skal I bæle, ikke? Det bliver altså super godt, I kommer ud af den her ende, men altså, der bliver skæmt.
也做好下半场，对方可能会打一挺疯，也有可能咱就打咱自己球，把自己放在自己的位置就 OK 了啊。不错，挺好。
And starts after the first 5 ends. China substantially ahead in all areas. And a couple of stolen points for them, and just the one for Denmark. And that all adds up to a 5-2 lead. You're watching coverage from the WCF Olympic Qualification event 2017. We're live at the Koszyczka Arena in Pilsen in the Czech Republic. You're listening to commentary from me, Alison Walker, and also alongside me, Sandra Rovag, world mixed champion from 2015 from Norway. We've had a bit of everything in this game so far. I wonder what part 2 will bring. China, they'll have edged into the lead. It's now 5-2 for China, after picking up that 2 in the 5th. And Sandra, the stats showed that China was way ahead. For me, it didn't look that big a gap in terms of the way the Danes have been playing.
No, statistically, China, very much in front, but I think Denmark hasn't really been playing that bad. Just maybe more complete misses, and that takes a toll on the numbers, while the Chinese have, at least when they miss, it's more half shots. But then again,
Not at crucial times, you mean?
Yeah. Numbers doesn't really mean everything. At the end of the day, it's just the scoreline, really.
Magini. Great player for China.
You can miss a takeout on your first one, make the double on the second one, and on average you get 50% for that, but it's worth the same as making the single takeout twice.
Yeah, so you can interpret things whatever. Do the players look at them? Do they look at them? Do they analyse them?
Some probably look at them more than others. Some try to ignore it. Some say they don't look at them, but they actually do.
What about you?
I'd take a look, but
I guess you know yourself whether you're playing well or not, don't you?
Yeah.
Without
for the most part. And then very often your coaches will be scoring you as well. You might trust that more, at least if he's not being nicer.
Depends on the coach. Liu Jinli, 85%. Yeah, she's been a bit of a standout in this game so far.
It's important to remember that every shot's a team shot as well. I mean, you can throw a really good rock and then the sweepers can mess it up for you. The skip can call the wrong line. And also the other way around.
Sweepers can fix it for you.
Exactly, so maybe you're not throwing rocks too well one day, but you could be doing a really good job with judging weight and sweeping and making shots for your teammates. So it's not all about the throwing percentages.
Julie Hoge, 65%. And this one heading away out.
That's a big miss there, because now China will just rip the corner guard, and there's not very much left for Denmark to play with.
And happy to see that yellow one disappear as well. Don't want to give China anything to play with. Zhou 88%. So performing well here. And there goes another guard. Just keeping things clean here, China. Denise Dupont certainly started the game well. First couple of ends. 75%.
Godt set, mand. Okay.
9秒，可以。
加油。
If you're China, Sander, are you at the stage where you're just playing the scoreboard now? Is that lead enough?
You hate to be too defensive too early. I have seen China give up a big lead already this week. Playing Italy, so they might keep that in mind.
Yep. Let's check on Finland, Germany. 4-2 to Germany. They're in the 6th end now.
Yeah, hit against 2 here.
For Unocosta. Yep, no problem at all for the Finnish skip. It's 1 for Finland. And they trail 4-3 after 6.
Yeah.
And Italy, Czech Republic as well. 3-1 to the home team here. Anna Gaspari. Look for the other red stones in here. And there are already 2, so it's a score of 3 for Italy, and that means they go into the lead 4-3 after 6.
Madeline Dupont here will try and play the hit and roll off the yellow shot stone. Roll in behind cover, behind that other yellow in the top 12.
Just 53% for this game, Madeline Dupont.
She's made a few key shots and also missed a few. You're quite heavily penalised when you're a skip. If you miss by an inch, sometimes you get 0% for it. And this one will undercurl quite a bit, and I'm sure that's the 2 out of the window for Denmark in this end.
Small margin, analysing what went wrong. So again, China limiting Denmark's options.
打定就行吧，打甩后边有一点。
打甩相关没关系，相关的话，后头这个球比他那个球近。
OK，
打甩。
行，加油。
点再稍微小一点点 ，OK。
By comparison, Wang Bingyu is 80% for this game, which is a bit more like it. Kind of suggests the way the game's going.
Looking to roll in towards the centre just a wee bit, and I think she's done that. That's pretty perfect right there, because it doesn't leave a draw for Denmark, and there's no hit through the hole. So Denmark's going to have to play a double here for the single point.
And another very tricky final shot for Madeleine Dupont, facing 3 Chinese yellow counters. Wang Bingyu did the job well.
Just trying to make the most out of everything there. A lot of teams will just try and hit the open one and be happy with that and give the force, but if she plays that tiny hit and roll, makes this a lot more difficult.
Is she going to make it this time? 1-2. Yes, she does. Under pressure there, Madeleine Dupont executes it well. And on they go. Just the one though. Denmark 3, China 5 after 6.
Never before in the history of the World Men's Curling Championship has the stage been so spectacular and the backdrop so electric. A never-before opportunity to watch the best of the best on ice and soak up everything else you love about Las Vegas, including the first ever 9-day pool party. Reserve your place in history now at LasVegasCurling.rocks. Las Vegas 2018. Your curling oasis awaits.
Først, når I siger kort, så kan I bare lade den være i 1, i stedet for at knokle hele vejen for at få den lige midt i. Okay.
We're on to the 7th end now of a feature game between Denmark and China. 5-3 to China, as you can see. And this one is keeping on going.
Du skal bare spille den normalt. Ja. Go! Er det længere? 2! Skal den helst i 3? Okay, det kan vi godt. Godt pass. Godt spillet. Rigtig godt pass.
Denmark putting out the guards.
Mathilde, kom bare. Vi har kun... Nej, vi har ikke noget på. Måske et hjørne. Bare lad være, ikke for langt væk. Okay. Okay, det er fint her. Okay.
打这一点是吗？嗯，小鱼就给这点行吗？行。
Usually removes the guards. Again, taking as many stones out of play as they can, China. And each time Denmark have to try and build again. And waiting for a mistake from China.
Oh.
Just what we were saying.
Well, that's exactly what Denmark needs right now. A mistake, and that leaves the centre guard to come around.
They don't seem too distressed about it, China. Just maybe the concentration levels just slipping very slightly. And a little chink of light for Denmark.
Well, all too deep, but better than nothing, you might say. If China clips the guard here, Denmark could play the hit on the yellow eventually and try and sit to get the force. Doesn't bode too well for a stolen end. We'll see if Denmark throws a guard once more. Well, maybe even a freeze.
We have seen them make a couple of these. Really nice ones.
There was a last-second suggestion there about throwing another guard, but Madeline Dupont has made up her mind already. I'll just play the hit here. He might throw the guard, and China could come after Redstone or come into the house to light 2. So don't want to make this move too late, but of course now rolling out, the force is out of play as well. Just, I don't know. The wheels are coming off a little bit for Denmark, I think. They started really well.
So hits and sticks there. On to the skip stones now.
当然行，打进打飞都行，但我感觉他先手他打的这份他不能。
Update for you on that Finland-Germany game. Germany 4-3, 7th in now. Missing one red. Finish stone already in there. Two finished stones, two red ones. That's going to make this easily enough. Hits. Stays for one. And edge a bit further ahead, 5-3. All clear.
Jeg synes virkelig, det er svært at slide, mens der bliver sådan en råbpis.
Throwing this one all the way through. And things stay as they were, as they are. Blanked end. And all to play for again. In end number 8, Denmark 3, China 5. So there's the numbers so far. Not a huge amount to, no really big ends or anything. But China in control very much so in this game. 5-3, 8th end now of this round robin game at the WCF Olympic Qualification event 2017. We're in Pilsen in the Czech Republic. And it's been a very intense week for all these teams, with those 2 places at stake for the teams that emerge victorious here. Chinese stone heading all the way through. Comparison of the leads. Pilsen and Lai Yingyi.
Not quite impressive numbers there as leads. As a lead, you usually throw quite simple shots, quite makeable shots. You see most leads stay above the 80 mark. And Denmark's hoping to throw 2 centre guards here, one tight to the rings and one long, but the second one comes up deep and leaves quite an easy double for China, although they can't play it yet. Still in the free guard zone, so they're just going to come around, take control of this 4-foot, and then try and play that double with their next one. So not really a good setup here for Denmark to steal. That's a much better rock there by Ma Jingyi.
So that one's already in place and they can tackle those 2 reds a little bit later. That's the plan.
Probably already on the next one. Not the first time we see Julie Hög throw this out turn all wide. That one's a little heavy as well. Just not really making things difficult for China here at the ends.
But you don't see the skip ever chastising or anything like that, encouraging. That's also you're patting her on the back. Keep her confidence up.
So with that red stone just open now in the back 12, they'll just make the hit on that instead. Leave the guards for now. Well, just roll out. Denmark gets a new chance. Changing up the call now to play the tap on the guard, which is honestly a much tougher shot to make. The straight raise on a rock is probably one of the tougher shots you can make in curling.
Now let's see how she gets on.
Yeah, having a bit of a tough day today. Being outplayed by Liu Jinli. Looks pretty close here though. Just over curling. Not sure if that was communicated too well. Could have swept that earlier. Ends up in a decent spot, however.
Over to Italy, Czech Republic. Tight game there, 4-3. Italy leading. So what can the Czechs do here? Last stone.
Ty. Jestli můžete...
Jeden výborný, můžeš.
Jenom týlaj.
Lots of stones in play here. It's coming around nicely though. Is it enough? Yep. So it's 2 for the Czech Republic there. 2 yellows. Again, their supporters very happy about that. 5-4 lead now for the Czech Republic. Comparison of the thirds. At least ball starting well, but it's tailed off a little bit, and Zhao Yan just got better and better in this game. So Denise Dupont targeting these Chinese stones. Through the port and just catches that one.
Just taking a look at the time clocks there before discussing this next shot.
往这旋转一个，旋转一个行。你把这个分进来的话，这个进来到这块，它还是往中间旋进。所以我觉得你把这块旋进一个，哪怕把这块力量小的粘在这块的话，它现在它也不太好再弹了。对，这也有相关球，然后它自己旋进的话，它也不太好旋。我觉得你可以往这先旋转一个。OK， 来吧。
What's worrying her here?
Not sure if she's too worried. She's lying shot stone next to throw. Just trying to figure out where to put this one, and I think it's the maybe a corner freeze on the red stone that was just thrown by Denmark. That way they'll sort of plug the hole and also kind of position themselves for removing that red stone later on. Just slipping a little bit too deep there. It's not all that bad. I think Denmark's going to have a look to see how much they can see of that yellow. And if they can make the double, it looks pretty hard from here. So in the end, that's probably a pretty good spot for China.
There's the time remaining for both teams. Just over 11 minutes for China, and Number 13 for Denmark.
That should be plenty of time for both teams. A bit of a disaster there.
Yeah, not a great outcome for Denmark at all. Promoting the Chinese stone. Now counting 3. And look at those stats. Alvin Dupont, 55 total. Wang Bingyu, 83. 93% of her draws.
正传就行，是不是？正传就行，给他换一个角度就可以。他找这俩的话，那个接就好。
要力量大成。
要是先把那打掉了，
那这个太容易打了，
因为他只有这一个球，你让他打的话，咱也最后能得着1分呢。
我感觉这个先传是也行。
他应该不会再投了，他只能把。
他有打甩。
对。
这个传进。
传到跟谁持平啊？
给。摆的一半一半。进营，正常进营力量就行了呗。哈。
14秒。他应该不会再投了，他只能打了。
他肯定得打。加油！14秒。
对。
China yellow,
稍往外一点点。
Denmark red.
I think they're pretty happy with that. It was hard to make things a lot worse, really. Not a lot of places to hide a red rock in here.
Den skal helst rulle derind, ikke? Så der den ligger en lille bitte smule til ikke at kunne knalde den der ned i. Man kan sige, den kan også godt, den kan, altså ruller du ind i den der, kan den godt rulle herop og ligge så der. Ja, jamen det er rigtigt, hun har noget lidt. Ja. Hvad kan du lide? Vi snakker om noget ram og rulle her. Ja. Altså at spille dobbelten her, selv hvis den er der, den er rimelig svær, der er ikke så meget plads, men selv hvis den er der, så får hun jo 2. Ja. Kampen er slut, hvis vi er nede med 4. Den er tæt på. Det, der skal ske mirakler, ikke? Ja. Der er det her, altså... Hun har misset noget, der er nemt før. Hvis denne her, den er der, ruller derind. Ja. Hun har misset nemme ting før. Ja. Jeg synes ikke, der er andet end den her. Altså man kan sige, det vi bare skal tage stilling til, det er, at hvis vi spiller Dublin, den er der, at hun får 2. Tror vi så på det stadig? Ja, altså, fordi hvis vi ikke gør det, så synes jeg tror, det er urealistisk at få en 3'er. Ja, så synes jeg, vi skal spille den. Vi har haft problemer med overhovedet for 2'eren. Ja. Med pil? Ja. I hvert fald, fordi hvis du rammer den her på oversiden, så kører du bare den der. Ja, vi spiller på at ramme den på oversiden og køre den vej. Ja. Ja. Så det er meget? Er det dobbelt den vej? Hvad? Er det dobbelt den vej? Det er rullet ind. Det vi snakkede om, det er, at hun kan lave dobbelt på midten, så får hun stadig 2
couple of
point. Og så tænker vi,
calls were discussed here.
Så derfor så er det sådan lidt alt eller intet.
They'd play a slash double on the yellows, but that would leave a draw for 2. And then they're thinking that if they give up 2 by this point, it's pretty much game over. So taking the higher risk shot here, coming off the red stone, essentially playing the double off the red onto the shot stone, and then try and spin the shooter up to sit in the top 4. Although I think even if she makes this one, there's a good chance China will have a pretty straightforward shot.
So degree of difficulty?
It's a pretty tough one.
I've seen her make a really good double earlier on in the game.
It's just not quite there. And this will be a draw for 4.
And that will be most likely game over. She didn't have a lot of options, did she? Really?
No, that was a
terrible situation for Denmark.
Checkmate.
All those yellows and the positioning of the yellows, frustration there. You know, they haven't had a great day, but they've had some very difficult shots to make.
It just kind of fell apart one by one, Denmark.
It seemed to just seep through the team. Having had that really quite good start too. This Chinese team have been very professional. And they have done absolutely what has been required.
Well, the good thing about Team China today is when one player has missed 1 or 2 shots, the next one's made theirs.
Yeah, they've compensated for each other. So last stone of the 8th end, will it be the last stone of the game? Already 4 in there. Unless they were to suddenly promote a red stone. No, they don't, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 certainly for China. And they are calling the game over. Another win for China. They're all smiles. Final scores 9-3 after 8 ends. A good start for Denmark, but after that China really did take control, and percentage is very good. The Chinese bench must be very happy indeed. China are well on course in those top 3 positions, shaking hands with the Danish bench, and very nicely played. Executed their game plan very well indeed.
Never before in the history of the World Men's Curling Championship has the stage been so spectacular and the backdrop so electric. A never-before opportunity to watch the best on ice and soak up everything else you love about Las Vegas, including the first ever 9-day pool party. Reserve your place in history now at LasVegasCurling.rocks. Las Vegas 2018. Your curling oasis awaits.
So we'll concentrate now on this game between Italy and the Czech Republic. Over on sheet C. 6-5 is the current score. Italy leading. We're in the 9th end, so very, very tight game here, and both these teams vying for those top positions. This is the Czech Republic's last game of the round robin, so they'll be wanting to finish with a win.
Ještě víc než předtím.
You can see Italy gaining 3 in that 6th end. Czech Republic bouncing back. So the lead has exchanged hands over the last few ends. The Czech Republic who have the hammer in this end. Hoping to build at least a couple of points here. Another stone heading towards that bunch. Shuffling things around a little bit, and away go the 2 yellows.
Sei arrivata a 8. Ti ho preso 88 finito.
Sweeping hard to get this into position. Yeah, not a bad outcome for Italy. Good work from Angela Romy.
Sì, vero. 4 secondi. In 4:10 siamo un 2.
Super's trying really hard to get this into position. And their skip's happy.
Tak asi backline. Okay. Trošku slabší teda. Slabší asi? Jo!
Better Badusova. Third for Czech Republic. Cheered on by the crowd here. Catching the guard. Yep, you can see she's annoyed with that. Very serious faces all round here. Veronica Saponi. So look at all those red stones in play there for Italy. Guards out front as well.
Já nevím, co chceš. Mně přesto přijde strašně takový, že jako nic nevypálím. Já si tam zajedem. Já nevím, no. K tomu prvnímu, nebo až tomu druhýmu? Musíme k prvnímu, k druhýmu už je to přes ten červený. Jo, tak jestli to nemám že teda střílet? Já nevím.
Really important shot come up here.
Já nevím, no. Já taky nevím, no.
You'd love to just blast this open, but not too many stones left in this end. So we're going to try and play a draw in there. Alžbeta Badusova will pretty much just have to make this one. She comes up deep or shy. You might see Italy just throw another guard on, and probably almost impossible to get in there for Anna Kubeshkova.
Squeezes past that guard, so they are getting one in there. Is it going to be shot stone?
I think it might just be shot stone, actually. That's pretty good effort. Almost sounded like they were giving up on it at one point.
Oh, it's very close here. Oof.
That's going to be a big help, I'll tell you that much.
Yep. Maybe a little bit of relief all around there, but let's see what Italy come up with.
Looking like a three-way measure at the moment, if you ask me. Not sure if Gaspari's thinking here, but I think nonetheless she'll just throw the guard on it.
Tense moments here inside the arena.
Even if Czech Republic are lying one, Italy can throw the guard. It'll be hard to generate a deuce for the Czechs. We'll always have that Yellowstone though, top 12. They might be able to run in at some point, maybe on the last one, all depending on what's left.
Gaspari has certainly made it very difficult for the Czech skip already. Let's see if she can make it even more tricky. She's played from some super draws, and stone placement's been excellent this week.
So it'll be a tight guard, and the Czech girls will have a second look in the forfeit.
Meantime, we'll just check on that Finland-Germany game, 5-3, last stone of the 9th end. Makausta.
Looks like a hit for two here to tie the game up.
Oh no, but hers is heading out, so it's just going to be one. Again, disappointment. So near yet so far for that Finland team. It is 5-4 to Germany. So back to this one. Italy against Czech Republic. So many stones in place, so much could happen here. But look, that yellow one looks a bit lonely. But it is in a decent position. And the overhead camera showing that it is, I think, shot stone. Hush inside the arena ahead of this stone from Annika Beskova.
Pretty good effort. You know, I wasn't even sure what shot they were playing because it looked like a lot of ice for that tap up on the yellow. And in the end, they don't curl enough for it. So the situation's still the same in the forfeit, but Gaspari will have another look here. You can't help it in these situations. Still leaves that a yellow stone though in the 12 foot in the open left side there. The Czechs could come in off of it. You can also see the Czechs pulling a tap up on the tight red centre guard, just right of the centre line. Just tap that onto the yellows for one. I wonder if Gaspari is trying to come around on the in-turn here and move the red stones up just a little bit, make sure they're lying shot stone. Calling this a little heavy here. Just a bit of a redirect. Again, doesn't really change much. We'll see if the Czechs might consider coming off that wild one off the winger.
Is that the only way they could get another one in there?
Nevím. Trošku si myslím, že ten Já nevím, hele, fakt
couple of options.
Myslím, že ten jejich.
No easy ones though.
Myslím, že to je ten náš teda, sorry, ale...
Nechal jsem v pohodě s tím. Tak můžeme prostě zahrát
Does it impact on your thinking if you think you're not shot stone?
Yeah, because then you pretty much kind of have to try.
Záleží na tom, co chceš
Certain situations, if you know you're lying one and you feel like you can only make it worse, you could just throw the last rock to the boards and just take that one. I don't think that's going to be an option here though.
Že tohle je snadnější, ale...
Víš, na co se cítíš víc? Podle mě ten zisk je tam podobný.
Je to asi jedno, tak klidně tohle.
Jo?
So it will be the enough. Fairly risk-free here. Not sure if we can get this for two. Then again, I'm not sure who's first, second, or third shot, so it's kind of hard to call. Question is, if she catches it in the perfect spot, you might come onto that red stone back of the forfeit on the right-hand side and maybe spin the shooter just up to nudge that second red top four for two. Could be there. Throws it hard enough.
Either way, very difficult last stone. The Czech skip. Let's see what the outcome will be. Watch it hitting this stone on the outside here. See what happens. And it's coming in nicely. It's coming in nicely. Very nicely indeed. What a super shot from Annika Beškova. You couldn't have got better than that. Crowd really enjoying that one. She pulled it off.
Incredible shot making, and I'm sure we'll get a measure here. See if it could be 2.
We can measure all 3 if you want. Yes.
Great to see those shots being made under pressure. There we go again. It was all about the angle here. And it comes. Sweepers at it, getting as far as they can.
Yes, for a second shot.
Did it actually move her yellow a little bit there, Sander? No, it didn't. Spinning in.
I've seen that exact shot. Just
she wasn't sure straight away, was she?
Seen that shot over curled so many times this week. Seems like it's getting quite a curl towards the boards, but was able to put the broom in the right spot.
Good to see.
So 1, 2, 3
Skill
on
there.
the 4 on the for the yellow. Nothing on the second one. So that's out.
That's gone. That's not part of the equation. What about this one?
Needs to be past the 4 to be shot stone here. And 2. No, that should be yellow. Fantastic shot then for 2.
Oh, I wonder if that could be a key shot in this game. This end, my goodness, real drama here. The crowd are absolutely loving it. Czech Republic into the lead after 9 ends. 7-6 over Italy.
Okay.
Right, so we're all set for our 10th final end. An intriguing contest between these two teams. Which one will squeeze the win? And we're set for more drama in this end.
Brava, Angie.
Perfetta. Just.
Nie, to přijde dobrý, tam za ten kámen celá blízko zpředu.
So Italy with the hammer, 1 shot behind.
Ja, určitě ne. Já ne.
Ja.
Ne. Pojďme ty, jdeme hezky.
Nice draw by Klara Svatanyova. She's been, well, she's topping the statistics for leads this week by quite a margin. 6% ahead of the number 2 rank. So she's been throwing well. Uh-oh, big mistake here. By Angela Romay. All the way through, really needed to keep the shooter in play. Because now Czech Republic can peel that corner guard, and there's virtually nothing to use for Italy to set up for their deuce. Teresa Pliskova has been really solid at peeling these corner guards this week. Was this one over curling though? It is. A rare mistake from Pliskova. But if you're going to roll anywhere, rolling to the centre line is probably the best option. Keeping the play along the centre line, closing down the scoring area for Italy.
The only other game on has finished, and it's a win for Germany, 6-4. They get one in that 10th end. It was a close game all the way through. And after the disappointment last night, Germany bounced back with a victory.
Well, it means that Finland are still winless so far, 0-5.
It's been a difficult week for them. They have one more game to go. They'll play Denmark in the morning.
It was a good shot by Konstantina on the first one there. Made the hit and roll, has opened up the shot stone here. A couple of guards in play, so chance now to make the hit and roll in behind those guards. Get something going. Two pistols from Stefania Constantini. Now it's time to Elżbieta Bałdyszova to make the run back. She started off the week a little bit dodgy, but she's been playing really well from game 3 and out. Just can't hold it for her, the sweepers.
Sì.
Oh, big sweep here to get past the guards. But just shy for weight as well. Gets a bit of a tickle, so actually ends up in a decent spot.
Yeah, can still do a job there. Seemed to know right from the start with that one.
Já si myslím, že tady nic jiného jako není moc. No jako maximálně můžu hrát jako přes ty naše gardy. A můžeš hrát taky double těch červených, no. Ale já nevím, jestli dostaneme druhou šanci na to tam jako nedostat za 2. Můžeme tam zajet prostě. Co myslíte? Asi bych tam zajela. Ne? Jo, já taky. Asi jo.
Could play the same shot again, but the problem is that stone is now red, so he'll be running in an opposition stone. He's going to have to make both go, and you would still leave the house fairly open with 3 guards in front for Italy to come around. So they're going to come around themselves here. Just trying to corner freeze the red stone. And if you're even just half buried around here, top of the 8, it's in a usable place. But this one's really wide. It's just gonna end up in nowhere. No man's land, really. Has to hide the inside of this rock. Maybe edge to edge with the guard. But definitely a chance for Italy now to get to the inside and roll in behind.
Here's the clocks. 4.5 and 3:20 or so. So, okay time-wise.
Another big scrub from the Italian girls again. Oh. Just past it. Wow. That's a great shot there.
Yeah, she knows it was close. She knows it was close.
That's a game winner right there.
Super shot.
Czech Republic in all sorts of trouble now.
Yep, smells all round. Team Italy. Enjoyed that.
Another big shot here.
Yep.
Doesn't have much, but to run these yellow stones in. Now there's one thing to run 1 guard into the house, but to go through 2 rocks here, you're gonna have to be pretty precise. Now, should be able to hit one of the reds at least if she's close. In an ideal world, she'll try and stick that second yellow onto the shot stone behind cover. It's very difficult though.
Good on her draws, not so good on her hits.
She made a pistol on the previous end. Nice turnover curl. Not looking good now. Does open the reds slightly, but I'm sure Italy's going to do something about it.
E se sposti solo questa così?
Non vorrei che lei venisse dietro una foto.
Fa un spingere dritto?
Sì, potrebbe essere un'opzione.
Non so quando.
Non vorrei, lei non deve usare quelle 2 guardie lì, questo è il nostro obiettivo.
No, per quello dico, se ci andiamo
noi qua.
Lei, tu conta che se noi veniamo qua, lei prova a venire qua.
Sì.
Coach is down.
One perfect shot is to freeze the number 8 right on top.
Ah, okay.
And you have nothing. And the second one is, of course, to try to come a little bit in. Not tapping, I don't think so. It should be like being top foul as well. It's of course it's good.
Here? Okay.
No, I want. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, she will come around everything.
Yeah, she will try everything anyway. Yeah.
And what if we go here?
That can also be a better option than actually trying to be on the outside. Yeah. So I can actually see yourself trying to come a little bit inside of that red as well. But of course, the perfect shot is to freeze that one. Yeah. And even a little bit maybe on the outside.
Here.
Yeah. But remember that.
Why there?
Yeah. Not too much. Should just be a little angle.
Okay.
If you have a chance to run that one, be sure that if you hit on the inside, the stone go this way.
So, coach recommending the freeze. On the outside.
Ascolta, dovesse mai essere un filo più lunga, la prova a guardare così.
Originally from Sweden. He's world junior champion from 1982. He's also played 3 world championships in the men's. He's coached both
Lots of knowledge about the game for sure.
Yeah, he's been coaching Norwegian teams, Swedish teams, Scottish teams, Russian teams, and now he's in Italy, so it's just lots of knowledge. Got to be a little bit careful here though, if you're Gaspari, if you're looking to freeze this top red, you leave it at a bad angle, you could potentially set up a triple for the Czechs. And if you do stagger them, like half checked, you might leave the Czech Republic a chance to come around those two stones, sit in the back four, fully buried. There should be enough curl to do so.
Do you have last stone? An idea of good timing, hog to hog. Sweepers really need to do their job here, don't they?
Okay.
I think that's a decent result, really. That curl's 2 inches less. Actually makes the next shot harder for Italy. So you see, the Czechs only have one option, and that's to come around that stone in the 8 foot. And with that stone in the 8 foot now fully open, you can at least run it back.
Tough shot. Kveshkova. Czech Republic leading 7-6 in this 10th end. They don't have last stone. This really is it.
Well, she did have higher percentages on her draws in this game, so let's hope she's close. See that red stone in the 8 foot just fully open.
Big hush inside the arena here. Only game left on.
A bit of pressure on this one. Quite a few home fans here in Pilsen.
Just a bit. This is their last game. They need this win to be in the mix.
Looking close here.
Yep, and the crowd are urging it on, urging. Is it going to make it past this one? Yes, it is. Yes, a fraction, and it is right round. What a super effort from Anna Kveshkova again.
Fantastic draw. That's good sweeping too.
Under so much pressure there. The adrenaline must have been pumping. And she certainly asked the question of Diana Gaspari. That's all she can do.
That's an incredible draw. And then now you'll actually see the stone just peek out an inch on our side of the camera, which means this run back is going to be pretty tough for Italy.
That's an absolute beauty. Probably one of the best we've seen all week.
It'd be hard to place that any better, to be honest, if you picked up the rock and put it there yourself. Now, that stone that Gaspari just threw is a bit of a nuisance now for the Italians. If that curled another 2 inches, she could be able to hit the inside, but she's going to have to catch this even a hair on the high side of this red. There's really not a lot of room to navigate through. That's why I was very unsure about the call they made. And that shot was even over curled. It wasn't supposed to be there. It was supposed to be half checked. But at least now she'll have a shot here. That is a tough one.
So we'll store this 10th end.
Oh, if she's high here, could come off the other red for the single. Just there, 1, 2, like that. Yes, there we are.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's more than a single though. It's game over. And the final shot from Diana Gaspari. Dramatic stuff. She ended up with 2. And hugs all round. Showing a lot of character there after that super shot from Anna Kveshkova. Applause from many Italian supporters in the crowd, and indeed from any neutrals. What a finish to that game. Our featured game though was Denmark against China, and it was a 9-3 win for China. So highlights of the game, fifth end. Oh, this was a tricky final stone for Madeleine Dupont after good placement from China.
Oh! Yep! 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 Yep!
And it's, well, look around. And China very much in control. Sixth end. And again, good play from China puts Dupont in a difficult position. But she makes this super double to claim her single point. It's 5-3. But China really stuck to their game plan and were impressive throughout, in control. Dupont missed with her final throw, and this set up a big score for China. Wang Bingyu with his final stone to claim 4 points and a 9-3 victory for China. Denmark 3, China 9, the final score, and another win for China. So a roundup of this session for you. Denmark 3, China 9, Italy 9, Czech Republic 7, and Finland 4, Germany 6. So how does that leave us now? Right at the top we have China and Italy, who have qualified now with 4 wins and just the 1 defeat, and still vying for that other place, Denmark and the Czech Republic. And 1 game to go, so all to play for still for those teams just lurking behind China and Italy. But China and Italy have qualified, they are through.
Congrats on another good win. We saw you had a lead against Italy yesterday and ended up giving away the game. What did you do to make sure that wasn't going to happen again today?
I think we just think in the last game we lost, but we still play our way and we play not that bad, and we just thinking it's a round robin and anything can happen, and we just the first the goal is going to the qualify is top three, so we just focus on that next game. So I think today we did, yeah.
You had the evening off yesterday. Was there anything you did to prepare yourself for this day?
Yeah, do some hate and draw and prepare to anything and make us feel confidence. Yeah, everything. Yeah, only 30 minutes, but we do everything there. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that was Wang Bingyu, and China looking good indeed. Well played to them. We'll see you for the next men's session. Hope you've enjoyed it for now. Thanks for watching, and from Alison Walker and Sander Rovag and the rest of the team, bye for now.